The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff or management of Visionary-related entertainment.
Aloha and welcome to Betty's Real Estate Corner, brought to you by Caldwell Banker, Sakamoto Properties, and I don't even know what else to say right this minute.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of a somber tone to our show today, given that the devastating fires that happened in Lahaina last week, and very, very sad. Lahaina, as many of you know, was the former capital of Hawaii, former whaling capital also, and lots and lots of history, and basically no longer exists.
It's such a hard moment, but I mean, I've thought of so many things to try to say and that might help, and nothing I think will really help. But I really thought that, our home is fine. We're very fortunate. We're past Lahaina, and we feel very blessed by that. But for many, I mean, it's a nightmare. And I thought about it a lot, and I thought, this is our life. I mean, this is our life now for all of us. It's not going to change for a long time. We need to do everything we can to help one another. And somehow I thought, let's just make it as great as possible. Love every minute that we have left, any of us. We're so fortunate, and we should realize now how fortunate we are. We could have gone for dinner in Lahaina and have been stuck in our cars. Anything could have happened to anyone in Lahaina. And I think if we can do everything that you can think of that we could do to help one another, and if nothing else, let's smile. Let's always remember to smile. And I keep saying the old adage of, remember, when you smile, the world smiles with you, and when you frown alone. So for right now, let's all smile, no matter how painful it is for you today, and no matter how hard your life is. And then for your children, we've watched so many people with young children, and they're making the best of it. They're working so hard at it, but every day has to be so hard. And to remember with your kids, just smile, do your best with a little tap on the head when they're asking the same question over and over as I'm doing too, but let's just remember to be kind. Just be kind to them. Listen to them. Understand their fears. They're afraid for their friends, and they're afraid for you, and they're afraid that you could go away and not come back tomorrow.
Yeah, a good friend of ours coined the phrase, practice aloha. Thank you, Mark Ellman. I know you're in a better place right now, but Mark coined the phrase, practice aloha. He distributed many, many bumper stickers that just says that, practice aloha. And right now, in our time, we need to practice aloha. The community here on Maui has been fantastic, coming together and helping those of us in West Maui that need help. It's been a tremendous, tremendous effort. And it's not only Maui. I mean, it's been statewide. It's been worldwide, really, as far as help. People extending their hands to say, hey, what do you guys need? How can we help? And it's really very much appreciated. As an example, we have a son in Portland. He manages one of our favorite stores, a Trader Joe's. And his store started a fund for Maui, a cash fund to help the displaced first responders, the firemen, the police officers, the medical personnel who lost their homes, apartments, and they will be forwarding their funds to a charity I designate for them soon. And here they are in Portland, and they're reaching out. Trader Joe's is also amassing supplies and so forth to send over. And I'm sure there are other chains and that are extending their helping hand out to us. And any help we can get is much, much appreciated.
You know, it's an interesting thing. Today I remembered something that I haven't thought about for a long time. Sue Cooley, who's the lady that built the stadium, Sue D. Cooley Field. And I was doing
in Lahaina.
Lahaina. It's spectacular. Lahaina Luna High School has a field. Right now it's safe. Everything is fine. But I remembered at one time, you know, to me, I don't think we even realized how, I don't know, how important she was or in her world. You know, she came here. We had known her for probably 30 years, and you still don't know things, but her husband had passed away, and we spent a lot of time with her doing things. But once I was in her house, and I realized that she would take, like, paper towels, and, you know, they come off the smaller piece, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're small now. They're not as big as they used to be. She would take that and cut it in half. So she would only use half at a time. And then she'd reuse them. She'd let them dry, you know. And, I mean, I would look at it and think, oh, my God, Sue, what are you doing? And then today, for some reason, I was taking off the paper towels. And I looked at it, and I thought, this is so stupid. I'm going to wipe my hands on this. I don't need the whole thing. And I grabbed a scissors, and in Sue's honor, I cut them in half. It's easy. It's not that hard to do it. It seems ridiculous, but it's one more thing. I mean, if we took every little thing that we have right now in West Maui and we did our best to reuse and to be comfortable with what we have and to cut our paper towels in half. You used one today. It was okay. It worked to wipe your face and coffee and whatever. So Sue D. Cooley, we will never, ever, ever stop loving Sue Cooley.
Oh, totally. But, you know, again, talking about how people are rallying to help Maui, West Maui in particular, even though we had fires in Kula and unfortunately lost some homes up in the Kula area also, and as well as, I'm not sure if we lost any homes in Kihei, but West Maui, of course, has been devastated. And, you know, many, many thanks to the volunteers who brought over supplies, water, MEMA, Maui Emergency Management people came over, many, many volunteers, and it was fantastic. You know, I know Costco, for one, donated cases and cases and cases of water and toilet paper. I mean, the whole community coming together is heartwarming. We did our small part by helping to distribute food and water Thursday and Friday at Kapalua. And there were many, many people in line.
4 hours.
Well, some of them had to wait 4 hours, yeah. But, you know, and we had a chance to talk to quite a few of them. Most of them had lost their homes. And very sad. A lot of them ran out of their homes with no wallet, no cash, no identification. Just lucky to get out with the clothes on their back, and but lucky to be alive, you know. And so, thank you to Maui, the emergency personnel, the Maui Food Bank, Costco, and all the other establishments that donated tons and tons of supplies.
So many people also talk to us about their pets and not being able to get their pets reeled in order to get in the car. And we've all heard stories about people that have died in their cars, which is horrible. And a lot of those, I think, were stuck on Front Street. But when you listen to someone that's got 4 kids in the car with them, and they're waiting to be able to go back and see if they can locate their pets, I can't imagine the pain of that, because for a lot of us, I mean, we have pets. Our kids are grown and have moved on, and they've got pets of their own. But, I mean, to think of just losing your little cat, your dog, you know, and how panicked they must be. It's a horrible story. And the Humane Society, I know, is out there. They're doing their best.
They're doing a fantastic job, yeah.
In Napili, there's where they're giving away pet food.
Pet food and offering medical help for pets, dogs, cats, and so forth.
Whatever they can do, they're working at it there.
Right. So, you know, again, many, many thanks to all the volunteers in these organizations. The Maui Food Bank has been fantastic. The Hawaii Community Foundation has set up a special Maui Strong Fund for funds for direction to Maui and West Maui in particular. So thank you to the Hawaii Community Foundation. It's again, it's heartwarming.
It is, yeah, amazing
Right.
that they're able to do what they've been able to do.
But you know, in these dark times, there's still some people out there who are trying to take advantage of others. We've heard stories about realtors, and I'm not sure if they're realtors or just posing as realtors, who are offering to try to buy properties at discount prices. And hey, I'll give you cash, sign over your land, and so forth. I don't think any licensed realtors are involved, but if they are, please stop this. This is not how we behave. We are not predatory realtors at all. In fact, many of our realtor clan are out there working in the field, handing out water, handing out supplies, and so forth. Basically going door to door is what I've heard for some of them. So realtors are doing their part in trying to restore our community back to normal.
We had a bunch of Caldwell people today that were actually coming to West Maui on a bus, and they were going to be between, I think, Kahana and Napili, spreading out, just offering to help whatever the giveaway is there, whatever they've got that they can help people that come by looking for help.
Right. In fact, we were at our Kihei main office earlier this morning, and we've got a load of diapers and so forth in the back of our car to take back.
Pull-ups.
Yeah.
And we just thought, I mean, they were there, and I thought, what if we take some of those with us? Because we know a lot of people that right now are staying in the hotels, and it's hard to get stuff. Costco right now, I went in there for just a minute. It is jammed. It is really, really jammed. And people are helpful. Everybody's really doing their best. The employees there are great. But even just in the aisles, you know, our microwave doesn't work. We can't make popcorn. Now, is that pathetic?
No.
But I looked for a little microwave to get, but it's heavy. And I mean, I had to have two people immediately that would help me get it down from an upper shelf because they were piled so high I couldn't get it. But everybody is being kind and helpful and trying. And a lot of those people have lost their homes.
You know, yeah. The other day, Betty and I went to Dolly's Pub and Pizza, and we bought a bunch of pizzas for our first responders. We went down to the local police station, at Lahaina Civic Center, dropped off a bunch of pizzas, and then the fire station right next door dropped off a bunch of pizzas. And these are, to look on the faces of the police officers and the firemen, they are exhausted. But boy, they appreciated us bringing pizzas. The big smiles. A lot of them had ash-blackened faces and so forth. They had just gotten back from the field. And it was great to just see a smile in their face.
It was super.
Yeah. And, you know, it's thank you, community, for helping.
And then we went to Napili.
Yes.
We didn't get to Napili right away.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Dr. Noor?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Austin? Hello?
Aloha, Betty.
Hey, I'm glad you're on the phone with us.
Hello, Dr. Eston.
We were kind of told what you've been doing
Roy.
and that you've got to be totally exhausted, but you were going to give us like a 5-10 minute something breakdown of what's really happening out there.
Well,
You know,
it's
what
absolutely
medically.
fantastic
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's absolutely fantastic what's happening in a week. I think this is different from an ongoing COVID which lasts for months. This is more like an earthquake or a flood where you've got a terrible disaster and then you've got a period of figuring out what resources you have and how to marshal them and where they go. So on one hand, the mental images, if you look to the right, the resort of Kapalua look beautiful and pristine with islands in the background. To the left, it's the black wasteland of Lahaina, which is essentially totally burnt and partially toxic. So I think medically, most of the facilities got wiped out in Lahaina. Maui Medical Clinic is gone. Kaiser Clinic is gone. A bunch of private offices are gone. Our facility, Doctors on Call, up in Hanakauai, North Kaanapali, is essentially the only fully functional clinic on the west side. Emergency services are now being given very, very well by Kaiser. They brought over a trailer that is in Lahaina Gateway. They have a tent and a number of outreaches there as well. They've set up a tent in Hanakauai Park and a tent in Napili Park. So all the immediate needs of the West Maui residents are being filled. That will probably be for a couple of weeks, and then we'll recalibrate and see what the model is for providing medical care. How much of it comes through Kaiser, how much of it comes through HMSA or private providers. We have good transportation. Ambulances are able to get back and forth to Central Maui. We have gasoline right now at one gas station. Our communications are still not perfect. Cells go in and out. The texts work fine. Internet is very sketchy and is dependent on Starlink at this point. They're working as hard as they can to fix the fiber cable. We do have power at the resorts and the homes, which is tremendously helpful. And the community has come together. I have to say, it's been absolutely remarkable to see the canoe clubs, the churches, all members of the community marshaling food, clothing, housing, resources. The parking lots of the shopping centers are becoming gathering places, and there's music, and it's Hawaiian style. And I think it's definitely a way in which not only the West Maui community, the entire Maui community, and the Hawaiian community is giving so much. We have planes flying in and out of Kapalua every 5 minutes, bringing things from Central Maui. We have the local boat operators here driving things from Maalaia clear around to a wharf that's been set up in Kahana. So, so far we've had no challenges from the weather. We've had excellent cooperation from municipal services like the police. They has set up a health center at the Civic Center in West Maui that's operational and taking care of a lot of people, those who are underserved. And we're moving forward. I think we're looking in the windshield as opposed to the rear view mirror. I can't tell you what the medical layout is going to be 3 months from now. I can't tell you what the housing layout is going to be 3 months ago. But we've got support from the government. There's programs to get evacuees moved out of the hotels. All the gentlemen have been absolutely fabulous, as have the hotel owners. About 10 evacuees being moved to condo and other living situations. And not get ignored. At least some of the stress level is food available in the mornings at the shop. After that, more than a bit of a packaged or canned variety. The challenge will be allowing people who are still going to be in the hotels to somehow cook. They probably can't cook in the rooms, so that's why we're trying to find them housing all over West Maui.
I think, Norm, you're right about so many things now. We were kind of going over some of those ourselves, you know, what's been happening with the hotels and how fabulous they've been to their employees and now taking in the public. I mean, that was great yesterday when I think you had some of the information. We were all trying to spread it around as best we could, how people can actually get into a room. You know, the Hyatt really stepped up suddenly and was taking almost anyone, I think. That's unbelievable, unfathomable.
Yeah, and also, Norm,
I think it's been great. All the general managers, you know, Fred Finley at the Hyatt, that's Sasaki at the Sheraton, Andrew Rogers at the Ritz-Carlton. They've all been fabulous. They've set up communication centers for people so that they can have access for phones. They've created food and clothing lines. They've been terrific.
Andrew at the Ritz.
It's been.
He was amazing. He was one of the first, I think.
That's been fantastic.
Unbelievable.
What a group effort. And I understand.
Yeah, but I think everybody's come together. I know every organization. I know the realtors and Caldwell Banker have come together. Mm-hmm. I hear from a lot of different groups. Rotary has a major effort. Obviously, the churches, many of whom got lost.
Maui Prep
have a major effort.
really did a major thing up there at the school, bringing people by. Ray Chen was one of the best people in the world on all of that. Everybody's been doing whatever they can do. You know, a number of us had to drive back the back road, and hopefully we're not going to end up doing that again. That was really a nightmare. Now that we can do the other way, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I agree. I think a lot of people ask, what can I do in terms of a donation? There are many ways to donate. The probably most effective and efficient is the well-established Hawaii Community Foundation.org. They're very well run. They're based in Honolulu, and they've already made major distributions to all these groups in West Maui. That's HawaiiCommunityFoundation.org.
Yeah, I think we've given most of those out already.
Yeah, we mentioned that, Norm.
Good.
And the Hawaii Community Foundation also has a Maui Strong Fund. So
correct,
which is a place to direct it.
Yeah, and so but I understand you're also part of a coalition of medical personnel, including Weslow from Halemakua, who's kind of leading the charge for medical attention on the west side. And thank you for being part of that.
Absolutely. We have everybody. We've got Weslow. We've got Mike Shea, the medical director of the hospital. We've got Kaiser Permanente. We have the pharmacies stepping up. Times is saying, what can we do? Walgreens is saying, what can we do? And Doctors on Call will kind of be the point area for a while because are having an intact facility. So we're coordinated, trying to figure out who's going to do what. There's obviously going to be a massive level of support needed from civic and governmental agencies.
Absolutely.
But right now, the needs are being met, and it's been a fantastic effort.
And we're now hitting like the 2-minute warning, or we're close to it. So I think we'll go ahead and wind down now. But thank you, Norm, for getting all that information to us. I think anybody that's been listening will have some idea that there is support. There is a way to get medical. There is a way to get food. There's a way to get what you need by asking for it, being a little bit patient because it's going to be so hard. But it's happening.
Practice aloha.
Practice aloha. So we will see you later, I hope, Norm, somewhere on the west side.
Thank you so much for your time. And a warm aloha to all the listeners.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So now I think we truly are around the 2-minute warning, yeah. So, I mean, whatever we can think of now that we could say that would help someone.
You know, what's left a lasting impression with me, they were interviewing on the radio 3 or 4 days ago one of the volunteers at one of our distribution centers. I think it was something up towards Lahaina. But they were talking to a gentleman who had lost his home in a fire, his house in a fire.
Yes.
And, he was up there handing out water and food and clothing and so forth to people who needed it. And, he had one statement that made a lasting impression on me. He says, "I don't have a house, but I have a home." And
I think if anyone
think about that, he doesn't have a house, but he's got a home. Lahaina is home, and that made a lasting impression on me. And what a statement! I don't have a house, but I have a home.
Roy grew up 463 Lahaina Luna Road, and in 1 minute I can tell you that for some reason the person that bought it wanted. They were going to take out a plumeria tree that was there. We moved it, and we have it now someplace where we live. It's so spectacular.
Yeah, the house is gone, but the tree lives on.
The tree lives on, and it's really spectacular. Thank you, Danny Couch, for always being with us week after week after week. Aloha.
And practice aloha.
Practice aloha.